Today's sponsor is pizza shaped chips. You know why? Because that's what the camera's holding right now. I know, right? We've got to do something about this camera. So in the last video, I gave a bit of update on my current health situation and what's been going on, right? And I want to explain something to you. Now, in life, there's a lot of people you don't play games with. People with depression, people that have been through a lot of trauma, people that have been through a lot in their life. You don't, target people like that. And unfortunately, it's a revolving door when it comes to people that do that to me. I have stated before, like, I don't hate people, I don't feel the need to, but the thing that I say is, if you have no interest in someone, like no interest of seeing them, dating them, having a relationship with them, then don't say it. Don't play these games that can affect somebody's life and affect their mental health, because that is the worst type of abuse that you can do. If there is someone that's absolutely pouring their heart out to you and being so kind to you, why play games with their head? Why play games with their emotions and their feelings? There's a lot of people that are not here on this earth right now is because women have done that to guys. The guys have made, to be felt that, they're loved and cared about someone that has no interest in them, like catfishing example, where, a lot of guys fall for that kind of stuff. But then there's like a girl that says, oh yeah, there's a relationship on the table, I'm interested in you, play all these games with the person and then destroy them. That's not right. You don't play games with someone's heart or head, because there's a lot of people in this world that have taken their lives because they think these men or women like them and want to be with them, and then turned around and been like, no, it's just a game. Mental health is a very serious thing, and if you're doing those sort of games to people, that's not right. In life, we all want to feel loved. We all want to feel appreciated. We all want to feel like we're sexy or we're good looking for someone. And it's very hard for men especially to be sexy or, be good enough, because, for a woman, she can put on something sexy and all eyes on her, yeah? With a guy, we can't do that. We can't just dress up, you know. And I think that's a disadvantage. Whereas, girls can, if they get randy one night and they're like a bit randy, and they go, oh yeah, I can call this guy up and get whatever I want. Whereas a guy can't just call a girl up and be like, hey, look, I'm feeling a bit randy. Except for me, there are about a couple of people I can, but I just don't want to. It's the moral of the story is, I'll speak on behalf of some guys. We like who we are. When we're single, we love flirting, we love chatting to girls, we love doing that kind of stuff. We're allowed to in our rights, alright? If we think for a second a girl is interested in us, we might slow that down. If we think that there's a possibility of a relationship with that person, then we cut it completely off. We stop the flirting, we stop the chatting to other girls and stuff. Whereas my situation was, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a Facebook person, I do live streams and stuff. I can hook up with anyone I want, I can get root whenever I want, I can do whatever I want, without someone telling me what I can and can't do. Now, I've dealt with a lot of shit in my time over the last few years, and I don't think I deserve it. I haven't been perfect in life, but when you play mind games with me to a point where it's like, you're the one doing the wrong, and you're doing the wrong, and you want to put the blame on me, and then you start talking to people that are my friends, trying to play the victim when you're not. See, the thing is with social media and stuff, you just can't, post your screenshots of a conversation with someone. Believe me, if I can, this subject would be very different, and people would be like, you got played. I've never, on YouTube videos, Facebook videos, ever said someone's name. Why? because you don't do that. I'm not a sort of guy that's just going to be like, such and such person, you know. I'm not going to slander anyone. Never have, never will, like publicly on social media, because you don't do that. You don't slander people. Just because you don't get your way, you don't have the right to go to a group that says, oh, you know, this guy, such and such, is a creep, he's a woman bash and all that. You start spreading vicious lies and stuff like that, you deserve to get your account banned. You're affecting that person's life. Slander is one of these things where it shouldn't exist. If you have a problem with someone, that's it. That's your business with that person. You don't go on social media formats and go, this person's this person this, because it's all vicious lies. Recently, I got, you know, slandered on someone's Facebook. They were respectful when they took the post down. And I said, you had no right to slander my name. I don't care what you say about me, but when you start mentioning my personal family name, that's when I say no. Because at the end of the day, I save all my conversations, and if I was allowed to expose these people that do this to me, then people would be like, oh my God, are you okay? Because being played for months upon months, you know, someone playing mind games with me to a point where it was like disgusting. I even said to a very close female friend, and they like, that's disgusting behaviour. For someone that's supposed to care about people and their mental health, showed nothing but disrespect to mine. And I know what it's like to sit in a corner and cry and feel worthless and not feel good enough. I know someone that I recently met up with earlier on this year where she is not much different than me. She thinks she's not good enough for anyone and guys, and she just goes for anybody. She doesn't love herself. She has scars on her body to show that she doesn't love herself. And I know when I saw those scars, the first thing that came to my mind was, this person needs a friend, this person needs help. And it's nothing that I can do. You know, she literally has nobody. And I looked at her and went, you know, apart from the fact that she does drugs and alcohol and stuff, I'm not much different than her when it comes to, you know, finding the wrong sort of people and, you know, just going for anybody. And I think that's the problem with life, is we don't ever think we're good enough for people, and we just settle for anything that comes our way. Like I said, I could easily hook up with anybody at my age, and it's good to know that. But it's a downside to, yeah, it would be nice to obviously find someone. And I thought that just recently that there was someone that was decent, you know, no kids, no drugs, a job, a license, someone that I found attractive. And when it was all a lie, it was just like, I wasted all my time on someone that had no commitment of seeing me or making an effort. I think the exact words to this person said was, Andre's done nothing for me. And it's like, well, how could I? When this person was sick, I offered to come over to their house, cook them dinner, bring them food, cook for them, clean their house. I offered. And then when I found out this person was in hospital, the first thing that came to my mind was, I want to do something nice and send this person flowers. Make them feel special. You know? And after so many attempts at so many different hospitals, eventually this person told me what hospital they were in. And considering this person was interested in me and all that, did nothing to tell me, you know, she could have just said what hospital, what ward, done, without playing any games. But no, this person just kept playing bullshit games and, you know, driving an hour just to go to a hospital with flowers to be told, oh, this person's not here. Waste of time. And do you think that person said thank you or I appreciate you for doing that? Nope. This person just kept playing the victim card all the time. I did a video on my Facebook Live saying, you know, how I missed opportunities about stuff, and, you know, 20 years ago things would have been different if I ended up being with the person. And the person that was talking to me at the time goes, that's a red flag. Red flag? I'm sorry, but that happened 20 years ago. There's no red flags about me. Like I said, if for a person that is, you know, single, I'm single, I'm allowed to talk about whatever I want. You do get jealous. And this person claims that they don't get jealous. But how come every time, whether it was a post about a friend they got jealous about, then it's every time I talk about something from the past, like a woman, has to say that's a red flag. I'm sorry, but I'm allowed to talk about anything on my Facebook Lives or YouTube videos. If I said my fiance of 6 years was the best thing in my life, you're going to get jealous about that and get angry about that because I mentioned it? I'm sorry, but that's not in your jurisdiction to judge me on that. It's not a red flag. It's just when I'm with someone, I'm very compassionate and loving. And that's what I am in a relationship. And the fact that this person always kept saying, Andre's got to make an effort, Andre's got to show me. Every time I did it, I never got the same treatment back. And then it's funny because I got this person's number one night out of the blue, and then a few hours later she hates me for everything. Because I thought, well, how do I show this person that I am serious about them? So I thought, well, I'll send a relationship request on Facebook, yeah? To show this person, hey, look, I'm for real. And shit hit the fan. All that person had to reply was, I respect that you did that for me. It shows that you're interested and I appreciate that. But maybe let's just wait a bit, catch up. And that's all she had to say. No, you didn't have my permission to do that. He started getting angry at me, started getting upset. You're overreacting. I mean, if someone was interested in me and they did that, I'd be like, oh, that's really nice. Like, I appreciate that. No. I get called every name in the book. And then I start getting threats. I'm going to do you for harassment. I'm going to put you on a page. It's like, hey, I didn't make any of those threats to you. The fact that this person kept saying, oh, I'm going to take this to the police, screenshot this and get you for harassment. It's like, you do realize you're still talking to me and saying all that when you could have just blocked me. If the police saw that, they'd be like, well, you didn't block him. You just kept talking to him. And I know how it works, believe it or not. When you write anything between each other, it doesn't hold up. You can't even, the cops will just file it and it won't see the light of day. It's not a threat. And by the way, if you do threaten someone, it's an empty threat. Because like I said, I had to report someone last year for doing something really bad. I even got video evidence of this person threatening to kill me with their current boyfriend. And I showed the police. Do you think they did anything? It's empty threats. And unfortunately, the loophole with so many things these days is harassment's only considered harassment where the person's blocked you on phones and multiple accounts and you've consistently gone and harassed them. By harassing them, threatening and all that, word for word, arguing, it's not going to hold up. So, what am I going to do from now on? Well, just an update on the previous vid. My Pokemon account I got back. Cheers. So I'm at the moment playing on that on my other phone, so I'm happy about that. Thank you, Pokemon Go. Do appreciate that. So that's one thing. Second thing is the insurance company that I've been fighting for the last couple of years, for the last year, has fixed up everything. So that's good. Don't know if it's the right amount. I'm going to have to look into that. But they've admit they were wrong on their end, so that's another thing fixed. Since this person has been off my Facebook, my life's been a little bit better. Mentally, not having these games played for me, because this person made me have a mental breakdown a few nights ago. Because of just all the abuse and all the lies, and to make me feel like I'm a bad guy when I'm not. Pull up my big boy suspenders here, but, I did everything I'm supposed to verbally as a male to show how much I feel for someone, yeah? And it didn't mean anything. This person never showed any love or appreciation back. I was very honest about my feelings for this person. This wasn't, just any person I was saying this to. Like, I picked her out of everybody because, like, don't get me wrong, I said in a conversation, I love another friend as a friend. And there's nothing in it than that. But as for a relationship status, I actually thought that this person could be a person that I could actually settle down with. I thought, she ticked every category that I wanted. No kids, no drugs, a job, a license. And I thought a person like her couldn't hurt me. You know, I thought, this is the sort of person that actually might be decent and caring. And I hate being wrong about it. But then when you go back and read the whole conversations over the last few weeks, even a friend of mine said, from day one, it was just mind games. And I don't know why this person chose me to play mind games. Why this person said, oh, there's a relationship on the table. I'm interested in you. And yeah, like, I opened my heart to this person thinking this person would be good. And I don't hate this person. I don't know why this person even hates me, to be fair. Like, I think it's just all miscommunication on both ends. I don't know if people have been talking in her ear. But the fact that I was only interested in her and only her, and I showed her a side of me that YouTube and Facebook don't get to see, and it was all for nothing. Why give me your number, then 3-4 hours later you want nothing to do with me? Just over, it all started off with just my live stream video, and then her writing a comment about being red flagged and all this other stuff. And then, yeah, like, the last part was, you know, how dare you put me in a relationship status on your Facebook, and really went off at me. And it's like, I was just showing you that I was serious about you. All you had to say was, that's very sweet, I respect that, but you can take it slow or something. But the conversation afterwards was just so toxic. I'm like, you could have said that in a nicer way. And we have like some sort of mutual friend that, you know, was like, I was only talking to you both the other night, and now shit's hit the fan. I'm like, because this person, it seems to be from day one. I don't know why they said the things that they said. They were interested in me. Relationship was on the table. The person gave me their number, and then shit hits the fan. Like, it's all been mixed games from that person. I would like peace and a sort of resolve from this person, because this is absolutely stupid and childish. Like, why say the things that you say and even give me your number if you don't intend to do anything with it? You say I didn't do anything, but I clearly did. You know, I offered to help you while you're sick. I offered to do nice things for you, and I even drove an hour just to give you flowers to be told that you're not even in the hospital. Like, and I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even get a thank you or I appreciate you doing that. That's really nice of you. I even got rid of female friends to show that, hey, look, I didn't want anyone threatening my chances with this person, and I didn't mean anything. And that sucks. I was willing to do a lot, and I never got anything in return. Just a lot of abuse and threats. Anyways, now I can focus on my poker. Now I can focus on myself. And like I said to you and others before, you know, you think I struggle behind the scenes with, you know, a lot of stuff. You think I'm struggling. Look, financially, I would say, yeah, I could do with a bit more money than that. Believe me, like, I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got expenses, like my cable bill, I'm trying to get from $90 down to about $60 at least. I tried to go on the website, and it's supposed to tell you how to cancel some like subscriptions to stuff and how to lower your bill. And I did all the step-by-steps in that, and it doesn't show you, so it's lying to you. So next few days I'm going to have to call that up and say, look, you know, I'm not paying for this when I'm not watching half the channels. But yeah, like I said, the one thing I've taught people in life is don't believe everything you're told about someone. You know, there's always two sides to a story. Now, when people get to know me, the real me, they will realize that I'm actually a good bloke behind the scenes. I am a good bloke behind the scenes. But if I'm backed into a corner, into a cage, and I have to defend myself, I will. I'm a vicious motherfucking tiger, and I'll rip you to pieces. You don't think that as a poker player has taught me over the years how to read people, how to manipulate people, how to defend myself? Believe me, I played this game fucking more times than. And this person that's just recently, decided to destroy me for some reason, I have no clue. Maybe someone put her up to it. I don't know, but like I said, I'm putting my big boy pants on here, saying, I'm probably the one guy you don't want to do this to, because I can tell you something. Long story short, sorry, I'm just legit actually pulling up my pants here. If you back me into a corner, I will and defend myself. Like I said, that one of my close female friends said to me, that was the worst mental abuse she's ever seen someone do to anyone. Like, I've been cheated on, I've been raped, I've been abused all my life by people. But this here, for someone that I thought there could be a future with, a partnership with, just someone that I could really be happy with the rest of my life with. I've not felt this since my fiance of 6 years. Like, I thought this person could be like legit the one. But to be played as a fool and knowing that this person never wanted anything, it was just a game maybe to her, it's heartbreaking. You expose your weaknesses to someone, and I don't usually do that, and maybe from her end it is miscommunication, whether someone said something to her, I don't know. But my feelings this whole time, and some of the stuff I said to her, I've never said to anybody. And that's what upsets me. I don't want to be vulnerable and stuff. Like I said to my goth friend, like, I have a really good looking goth friend, right? She's my empress, she's my queen, mate. She's been there for me for like 10 plus years, and she, like, me and her could, like, legit, she lives like an hour away, but she's a single mother. We could literally have a few drinks, fuck each other's brains out, and then afterwards have a few more drinks, fuck each other's brains out, and yeah, that's it. Just as mates. There's no lovey-dovey stuff between us. But, I have a friend that, even said to me, because I told her about the situation, even she said, that's fucked, Andre. That's really fucked up. Yeah, she said, I can see, Andre, why you'd like her. She's a skinny blonde, she's very attractive. But it's like, yeah, I didn't look at that part of her. All I saw in this other person was, she had a job, no kids, no drugs, someone that I was willing to introduce to my parents, because I thought, she's everything I want in a girlfriend, and everything happened on Friday night to a point, because it's now Tuesday, by the way. Once everything happened Friday night, I just felt broken. This person's made me feel broken. This person's made me feel shit when I shouldn't be feeling shit. I was doing everything in my power to show this person, hey, look, if you decide to start something with me, you have all your dreams come true. You will not ever suffer ever again. You will not feel lonely. You will not feel heartbroken. You'll have a loyal boyfriend that will let you go out at nights without questioning it. Let you dress the way you want. Let you hang out with whoever you want. Because I was willing to do anything to make this person a real life princess. And I don't know why she would suddenly snap like she did. I'm not a perfect person, believe me. I can defend myself. Like I said in this video, I'm like a tiger if you back me into a corner. But it's just heartbreaking when this person started to see like a real good side of me, my vulnerability, and it didn't go anywhere. So I thought I'd make this updated video on the updated video. Yeah, I can't be fucked putting lights on or stuff. And like I said, this camera's being held by a box of shapes right now, pizza shapes. But yeah, I'll leave the link of the other video in this video at the end with the four corners and stuff. But just know that I tried my best to show the real me. And I'm being played out to be the enemy when I wasn't the enemy the whole time. I don't know what is going through her head. I don't know if people talk to her. I don't know why she does the things she does, because at the end of the day, I was doing everything a woman wanted in a partner, in a guy that they're interested in. Also, they say they're interested in and then change their mind after. It's a lot of bullshit. And I thought, considering she's a person that in the industry she is, should have a heart. And I didn't see it. I don't even remember any time where she's gone, you're great, but like, I would love to have you as my boyfriend. I would love to go on a date with you. I think you're a good looking guy. I'm appreciative that you came and tried to, bring me flowers when I was in hospital. Like, none of that. But I'm the one that when she was sick saying, look, if you need anything, I'm willing to drive down and cook your dinner, bring you food, clean your house, just do the things to make her feel better. I offered lots of times to take her on dates. And then she'd change the subject and be like, completely change the subject. And when I directly asked her one time, do you even like me? Change the subject. That's not the behavior for someone that is making an effort with you and you throw it back in their face. Like, I've been single theoretically here in where I live since February. Alright, I've had online girlfriends and stuff, but all live in America. And I wanted to have a relationship here with someone decent, and I thought there was nobody out there for me, and this person came into my life, and the blonde bombshell, I thought, wow, no chance. Said no chance from day one. I thought, nah. But then when this person said, yes, there's a relationship on the table, if it goes well, I'm like, this person knows how old I am, and they say that. And then this person says in a message, I said, because she called me daddy one night, and I said, why would you say that? She goes, well, that's what people do when they're interested in someone. So I thought, okay, cool. She's interested in me? Am I in a dream here? Like, why would a hot person like her that's got everything that ticks boxes be interested in me? I don't know if it was a game. I don't know. But the one thing I will say is I don't hate this person. Like, I do like this person still for some fucked up reason. Because I think that there's somehow miscommunication here. Per se, I didn't do anything wrong. Unless she thinks that I'm lying about something. And let me tell you something about that. The one thing that I've always been honest is been telling the truth. No matter how bad it makes me sound, I will tell it like it is. And on my end, I don't have any hate towards her. I'm very confused why I made out to be the bad guy when I've offered to do all these nice things. Like, I thought, well, how do you prove to someone that you only want to be with them and only them? And I thought by throwing a relationship status on Facebook, I thought maybe this is the only way I can show her that I'm ready to just be with one person. And it blew up in my face. And that's what started all this shit. And it's just absolutely stupid and childish that, anyone would normally be like, hey, I get that you like me. That's pretty cool. I get that you'd want me in a relationship. I really do like that. But we should go on a few dates first, or, hey, look, catch up and see what happens. There's ways of doing that. Not, you didn't have my permission to do that. And get angry and abusive towards me. Like, that's a bit much. You what? Every time I did something, oh, you upset me. Just by not responding to one of her messages, you upset me. It's like, well, I hate to say it, but how many times did you leave me seen messages and you not respond? Like, a couple of times where I would send this person something, it was seen but never replied. So, when I do it, I upset the person. Well, maybe instead of you doing that to me, maybe I'm upset when you do the same thing. But yeah, it was just taken out of context, a lot of things. And I don't know how, she says as a nurse, you'd think as a nurse she'd be mature about things and very understanding of mental health and stuff. But I've not seen anything of it. And considering I know someone that's in the industry, they've not even heard of her. And they know like the upcoming people that have studied and coming through, and they've not heard of her for some reason. That's an interesting point. Like, I had even a friend that he goes, I don't think this person's telling you the truth, Andre, because, you know, they're in that field of industry, and, you know, people, whether they studied this year or last year, they know all the people that are coming up. And in the database, they haven't heard of this person's name. I don't think this person has a reason to lie because, like I said, I've seen them in the uniform, but that's kind of interesting. You know, something's not being told the truth here. Now, how am I going to be the next few weeks, few days? Well, like I said, I got my insurance stuff fixed up. I've got my Pokemon account back. You know, climbing back up the ladder on poker. I was 20 something and now I'm back to top 10. Don't forget I was top 2 at the venue for a whole year until all this bullshit came in and I started to go really bad. Hopefully I can get my form back. Getting a bit of money for my extra job at the moment delivering wood, so that's helping financially. That's why I've got all that money. I'm going to put it in the bank tomorrow. Definitely getting a haircut. Happy birthday to my friend out there. But yeah, in life, like I said, I said this in my last message, but I'm going to say this in this video. This one's not going to go as long. If the person is watching, look, I'm sorry that you might have misconsumed stuff the wrong way. I was just trying to be the person that women want me to be. And I divulged so much personal information to show that, yes, I'm real, I have feelings for you, I did want a relationship, I did want something special to happen. I don't know why you would get so angry. I was proving a point that I only wanted you and only you. So, yeah, there is no red flags about me. Like, I'm very honest. I told you personal stuff that I've never told anyone. And I haven't been flirting with anyone in this time. In fact, the person you thought I was flirting with, I was just being nice as a friend to that person. I wanted to show them love and affection. And then I knew that there wasn't a relationship with the other person ever on the table. Hasn't been since I knew the person. But I told the person I loved them as a friend. And the moment I started talking to this other, like, person that I wanted to be with, I never got that back from that person. And if you're watching, I'm sorry, but you never gave me anything that, like, you tell me, yeah, relationships on the table. You tell me that you're interested in me, and you give me your number, and then like hours later, you're cursing me by something I posted on my Facebook Live, saying it's red flags. And then when I decide to do the honourable thing and say, hey, look, I'm putting all my chips in, showing you who I am, and you blast me for it. And I don't think that's right. I thought you were supposed to be a kind and caring person. Considering your job's supposed to be a nurse and you don't show any kind and careness to me. You don't say you're appreciative for me driving an hour with flowers. You don't show any appreciative of me offering to help you when you're sick. If I did the same to 10 other girls, 9 out of 10 of them would be like, I'll be your girlfriend, Andre. I'll settle down with you. That's really nice that you made all that effort. Yeah. So like I said in the previous video, you know, there's some great videos coming up. Eurovision stuff, dancing, singing. Kid Rocker could be coming back. I've been talking to him. He appeared on my Facebook Live a couple of weeks ago, and there was a Q&A with me, and believe it or not, that nurse was talking to me, and another person was talking to me, and someone even watched that video saying that nurse made you look bad in that video. I don't see it, but you know, people were watching and they were like very angry about the way that I was made to feel bad in that video. It will be coming on YouTube, by the way. You don't see obviously the people in the chat, you know, but you do see my response to what was going on in the chat. Kid Rocker popped up in that video. He was not happy. He calls me a little pussy, by the way. I was like, I'm not a little pussy. I'm just being honest. Like, I know what I felt at the time for the person, and I still feel that. And I think that if this person realized that she's the only one I wanted, you know, and how I would, and I do honestly believe this, if me and her catched up and dated and all that, a relationship would be definitely on the table. And I think that if we did get into a relationship, me and this person, she would be very happy. She would have a boyfriend that loves and cares about her. She'd have a boyfriend that would literally do anything for her, even corny singing. But she's willing to throw that away just because of miscommunication and people saying stuff to her that's false. Now, I don't know when this video will be on Facebook and YouTube, because, yeah, I've got to go back and edit it and stuff, and I've got to give it a bit of time for the other video to get more views before I post this one. But I'll tell you something. If you thought the last video I opened up a lot in this video. Yeah, my health ain't the best lately. As you can hear in my voice, I'm like struggling to breathe. My heart is not good. And because of all the stuff that's happened recently, it's just fucked with my head to a point where, like I said, I had a mental breakdown. I was crying, I was angry, I was upset because someone made me feel so vulnerable and hurt that they don't even understand. Because I don't deserve that. And like I said, to the female friends that does know what happened, they're not happy with this person. They're like, that's disgusting, Andre. Even the mutual friend that talks to both of us even said, you know, you didn't deserve this. And I didn't think that it could all blow up like this. And it shouldn't be. Right now, me and this other person should be like saying, well, what is your deal? Like, I make an effort, you don't. You don't respect me. You don't make an effort. Like, if I was a girl and I was in hospital and some guy is really making an effort to try see me, bring me flowers, I'd be like, that's fucking sweet. He doesn't have to drive an hour. And if I like him in any way, I would say, look, I'm in this ward, this hospital, come see me. I really appreciate it. I didn't get that. You know, and even before that, like I was offering to help the person, you know, cook, clean, bring stuff. Nothing. That's not how you're supposed to do things in life. Anyways, I've gone long enough in this video. I want to watch my TV show. I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired. I busted my ass at work tonight to a point where I was like, you know, I had to stop a lot of times because I was hurting. Like my legs were hurting, my arms were hurting. I felt dizzy. I've got ginger beer and Coke on ice behind me. And I've also got Red Bull and water with ice behind me. Because I need to stay awake for a couple of hours. Because I want to just, you know, do a few things. But anyway, thank you for watching. This video, when it's live, it's live. You know, it'll have a link to the other video before this. But just like I said, don't play games with people's hearts and heads, because it's not a nice thing. If you don't intend of dating someone or catching up with someone, even as friends, then don't do it. Don't give people false hope. And the good thing is that there's a beautiful person in America that's like, you know, we have a little thing going on right now, me and her, you know, which is very nice. You know, it's not a relationship. It's just, you know, we can call each other boyfriend and girlfriend and we can do all the cute stuff. But, you know, like she said, you know, she's been hurt, I've been hurt. We don't want fucking relationships. Relationships right now, unless that person that I was talking about in this video decides, hey, look, Andre, I'm sorry. I didn't know this is how you felt. I didn't know that I did this to you. Then, you know, we could try again. But I think there should be at least peace. And I think that the camera just suddenly got lighter because the TV just came on. But yeah, I think that this needs to be resolved in a mature manner. And I think that things have been blown way out of proportion. Like I said, I could be a nasty guy and post, oh, such and such name on my Facebook and say, I'm not going to do that. I don't need to do that. I don't believe in like slandering people. I don't believe, don't get me wrong, in my 9 Deadly Sins video on YouTube, I never named the people. I just said what they did to me, you know, and their behaviour is absolutely disgusting. Anyways, thanks all for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon.